Hey guys, Dalen here, and welcome to this video. So, as you can see, and probably hear as well, I've done some changing up of stuff. I got a new microphone, I got a blue snowball, and a pop filter, so hopefully the audio quality on my video should be a lot better, and yeah, that's one of the reasons, that's pretty much the reason that I haven't uploaded a video in a week and a half or so, because I was waiting for my microphone to get shipped to my house. Because I don't think that my laptop mic really cuts it in terms of video making and being a YouTuber. I really think that audio quality is one of the really important things when it comes to YouTube, especially when you're a commentator like I am. You want to have the best audio quality possible, just because that's kind of what I've built my channel off of. I built my channel off of commentary, really. That's what I've always really focused on. I do the odd guide here and there and, you know, that kind of extra stuff, but my channel is mostly built off of commentary videos. For those of you who've been following me for a long time, you know that. That's what my channel is built off of, and I think that just having really bad audio quality really kind of is almost a disservice to what I've built my channel off of. So I was waiting for that to come in, so that came in today, so I can finally make a video. I did actually record a video a couple days after my last video, that first look at Invention. I actually recorded a video that was basically like the second look at Invention, after I had, you know, had a chance to, you know, experience it a little bit. It had been in the game for a little bit. You could see the effect on the game, the economy, and all the players and that kind of stuff. And then they made that really huge change to Invention, and then there was no point in uploading that video in the first place. So then I ordered a mic afterwards, and I was like, hey, I may as well just wait until this microphone comes in so I can, you know, have good audio quality and all that stuff that I was, you know, rambling on about at the beginning of the video. So I'm going to be basically taking a second look at Invention, obviously now post changes. I think this is the way that it's going to be. It's been a couple of weeks since Invention was released, so I'm pretty confident that there aren't going to be too many. I don't think there's going to be really huge changes made to the skill anymore. Not like that first change. There may be, obviously there's going to be tweaks here and there in terms of leveling stuff, and then obviously we haven't had the entire skill released yet, because they are going to be doing monthly updates to Invention that are going to be adding new content and tweaking things and that's fine. Just as long as like the base of the skill doesn't change, that's fine for me. So we're just going to be, you know, having a little bit of a chat about the Invention. So right now, I am 49 Invention. After I level up this weapon, obviously going to be 50, probably 50, I'm not sure how much farther past 50. Maybe 51. Because basically, the way that you train now is that you augment your weapons, you level them up to level 10, and you disassemble them. Or once you hit 60, and you increase your level cap to 15, then you augment your weapons, level it up to level 12, and then siphon them. And it really just depends on if you want to use your tier 90s and siphon them for the XP, or you want to just continue buying cheap weapons and, you know, just disassembling them. It's just how much time do you want to spend on that. So that's kind of the way I'm leveling up. I'm using Royal Crossbows just because range is my favorite combat style. Royal Crossbow, it's kind of a toss-up between the Royal Crossbow and the Dark Bow. Obviously the Royal Crossbow does require a little bit more in terms of actually making it usable, because you have to do a QBD kill, and it is a little bit more expensive, at least the parts. I can usually get Royal Crossbow, all the parts on the GE for less than $1 mil, so it's pretty cheap anyways, and then you get that, then you go do that QBD kill, and then it's usable. Whereas a Dark Bow, the DPS is a little bit lower on a Dark Bow, I think, than a Royal Crossbow, because it is a lower tier weapon, and I think it might be slower as well. But it's cheaper, and it's usable right out of the gate. You don't have to do any of like the constructing of the Royal Crossbow and then going to the QBD to, you know, get the extremely hot flames. So you don't have to do any of that for a Dark Bow, whereas you do for the Royal Crossbow, obviously. So it really, I think, just depends on that. And then obviously you can use melee or magic as well. Personally, I would probably go with magic as a secondary option, just because magic also has some pretty good weapon choices. It has, you can use the Staff of Light, the Gano, or I think the Polypore Staff, I think is I think you can augment that. I'm not sure. I know you can augment Staff of Light at least, because those have been going up a lot. I think the last I heard it was about 2 mil. So, you know, makes Ice Strike Worms worth doing again, because I think the Staff of Light pre-Invention was, you know, a few 100K. It wasn't really worth anything. I always canceled and skipped the Ice Strike Room tasks just because I didn't like them, but I may actually start doing them now because of that. But yeah, so I'm at almost 50 Invention. Obviously, I've got a very long way to go, and I am probably going to do a series of Road to 120 Invention because I do need to get 120 at some point if I ever want to get Comp Cape back. Though, to be fair, I haven't had the Comp Cape for actually a pretty long period of time, probably about 2/3 of a year, because I haven't had it since raids came out, because I've just never done raids. And you have to do, I think you have to do a Durzag and a Yakamaru kill to complete that, because you need the music track from Yakamaru, and you need a Durzag, and I think you need a Yakamaru kill for the Reaper title. So, and those are obviously 2 Comp Cape requirements that I don't have anymore. So, it was kind of unfortunate, but at the same time, I don't really mind. If and when I get 120 Slayer, I don't really even think I'll care about Comp Cape. Like, the Comp Cape has nice stats, and I like that it acts as an Ava's accumulator, because it's annoying to have all your bolts on the floor, but bolts are pretty cheap anyways, so I don't really care about that too much. It's kind of just more of a hassle than anything, and I don't really care too much about the negligible stat. It's not negligible, but the little bit of stats that the Comp Cape has over the Max Cape. And I don't wear my Max or my Comp Cape really for cosmetics. I like 120 capes better. I think I like the skinnier capes. I'm not really a big fan of fat capes like the Comp Cape is. I like the particles, but again, particles are on 120 capes, and I also like dark capes. So that the black and red of Slayer is just, I really like it. But anyways, that's not really what I'm supposed to be talking about. Invention. So I still like Invention as a skill. I like the idea of it. I like that, you know, you have a chance of getting really good weapon gizmos, but not all the time. It's a random chance of getting a good gizmo. You have to use parts and to, you know, get the best gear, the best perks and materials. You have to kind of make some sacrifices in terms of what you disassemble. So I like that. I like that part of the skill. I like kind of the chance, both the chance aspect of it and kind of the customization, because it kind of really does make your weapons it's not necessarily unique, because there's always going to be kind of the optimal perks that you can get, but a lot of times it's going to be balancing it between how much do you want to spend on getting the perfect perks, rather than just kind of, you know, putting a little bit of money towards it and getting a perk that's okay. It kind of reminds me, I play Path of Exile. I used to a lot. I don't play it too much anymore, but I used to play it a lot. And a lot of it with Path of Exile is there is always optimal gear to get in terms of getting your life and resistances and just kind of the stats on your gear that's necessary, because in ARPGs, gear is kind of the biggest thing. But there's always going to be that end game best kind of gear that you can get, but a lot of times, because that is so expensive to get, and so it's either time consuming to get the currency or time consuming to try and farm the gear yourself, which is usually nearly impossible, but you know, it's really RNG. But a lot of times people will settle on gear that's okay. It's doable, you can make it work, it's not bad, it's just not the best. So that's kind of something that I admire about Invention, is that you kind of have to do that cost-benefit analysis of, do I want to spend a lot of money trying to get the materials, and then kind of bank on the RNG that hopefully I'll get the best perks that I can get for my weapon, or will I make a weapon or armor gizmo that is okay, and just settle on okay, hopefully work up towards the best gear, but for a long time you're probably going to be using gizmos that are just okay. So I kind of like that. I also kind of just like the way that you train it in general, at least after the change. So basically, I think probably everyone knows this because there was a really big uproar about it. Basically what they did when they released the skill, people were using weapon gizmos and equipment gizmos to level up, because that gave you massive amounts of experience for crafting those gizmos, and people were getting 199 within, I think, less than 24 hours of release, 24 to 36 hours of release. A lot of people had 99, a lot of people being people with really massive banks, but still, it was really fast and not what Jagex intended, obviously. So they changed the way that you train the skill. They nerfed the experience that you get from weapon gizmos by 50%, and they buffed the experience that you get from leveling up and disassembling your weapons by, I think, 1800%, so almost 2000%. They buffed the experience to leveling, augmenting your weapons and leveling them up, which was the way that you were initially supposed to level up, but obviously was not thought through very well. I think to me, the biggest problem with that is that that should have been something that was worked on and known about in the first place. That's how it should have been rolled out. I don't really feel like there should be any excuse as to why that was overlooked. Honestly, I don't. Because it's obvious that this is the way that Jagex intended it to be released, and why there was not either in-house beta testers or theory crafters or whatever they do to do beta testing and bug testing and stuff, why that was not thought of. I don't really feel like there should be any excuse for that. And I think that the effect that that had on the economy was really unhealthy. It was really bad for the game, and I think it also kind of put this kind of a skepticism in the community about the abilities of the development team. And I think that's a real problem as well. It's when you lose faith in your developers that you don't have faith that they can roll out something successfully the first time. Because like I said, I don't really feel that there was any real excuse for why it was rolled out the way it was. Because it's obvious that wasn't the intention. They even said that they made mistakes. And I admire that they can admit that they made a mistake with Invention. I admire that. What I don't like is that it was done in the first place, basically, is what I don't like. I expect things to be changed about skills after release because there is no way to predict what's going to happen with a new skill, typically, but something that big should not have been overlooked. Like, I expect small little tweaks, maybe a larger tweak here and there, but nothing so significant as to buffing experience from a training method by almost 2,000%. That's crazy, and that nerf to the weapon gizmos and the increase to leveling up weapons made people lose millions of GP on that. Because a lot of people stocked up on stuff in preparation to do weapon gizmos, and then they just randomly changed it. I know there's a big conspiracy theory going around that they released it like that on purpose, so there would be an initial really large item sink to the game, because people were, you know, trying to get all the materials and stuff for weapon gizmos, and they turned around and say, "Ha, just kidding, that's not how you actually level up. You actually should be leveling up using weapons, and we're going to give you basically no reason to not do that." I know that's a conspiracy theory. I'm not that cynical. I don't really think that it was intentional, though it may have been. I'm not saying that it wasn't. I just don't personally think it was intentional. But either way, like I said, I don't really feel that there should have been an excuse for what happened there. And I think that was really kind of it was a bad thing, both on the economy and for the game, just because there are those who kind of have lost faith in the developers over that, because it's kind of like, oh hey, we made a mistake and it was really this big thing, and we basically screwed over the entire game, the entire player base. Not the entire player base, but a lot of people is screwed over. So, I mean, I don't like that. I don't like that bit of invention. I like this skill. I don't like the way that it was handled, basically, is kind of the bottom line. So, that's kind of my beef with Invention. I just think it was handled wrong, and I think that there was really no excuse for the way it was handled. Like, in my opinion, and I don't know like I said, I don't know the legality or the viability of this method, but personally what I would have done, or I would do as a game developer, just have players, some of the top tier players, top 5% of the community, be able to either player test or at least look over the way that skills are going to be rolled out or content's going to be rolled out, and have them say, you can abuse it this way. Trusted community members, people who won't leak things, make them sign an NDA, whatever, to keep your stuff confidential. But I think that would help a little. Because when you're around your own content for so long, you kind of get both attached to it, and then you also kind of overlook things that outside eyes would see differently. And also the fact, I'm pretty sure there are Jagex developers and people at Jagex who don't play the game. They just work for Jagex, they interact with the community, but I'm pretty sure that there are a number of employees that don't play the game at all. So I definitely think that there should be some sort of system where you can have the top tier players, the players that are most likely to find the best methods of training a skill, and have them work with Jagex to say, hey, is this what you meant? Like, I think Regicidal is a kind of a good explanation, or a good example of kind of someone who built up through the community on the same level RuneShark as well. They were big YouTubers in the community, and they started working beside Jagex to, I know Simon and James did set up a lot of their social media stuff, their Twitch, and they did a lot of that. I'm not entirely sure what Lee does exactly. I think he's a theory crafter and something like that. I'm not sure, and you can tell me in the comments, but I'm not 100% sure what he does. I've seen him in game before, but I'm not 100% sure what he does. But I think that that's kind of a good example of having community members working with the developers and the company to be able to make changes and be able to get opinions of the players who actually play the game and really put a lot into the community. I think that that would be I think that that's something that's healthy for a game. Obviously, it does have its downsides. There are some problems with that, but I think that the benefits, to me at least, outweigh the costs. But of course, I'm not a game developer, so you know, that's just my opinion on that. But like I said, I don't really feel that there was really any excuse for how they handled Invention at all. So anyways, that's kind of my second look at Invention. Basically, the way I'm trading, if any of you are curious, I'm just buying royal crossbows for now and doing my Slayer tasks. I cancel most tasks that I can't range just because I want to level up Invention, and I don't really care to be spreading my experience over multiple different weapons. I like having one weapon that I'm working on to get up to level 10 and then disassembling it. I'm actually being really inefficient right now because I haven't augmented my armor, and I should. But I am going to be siphoning my armor rather than disassembling it, because I'm going to augment my Pernix gear rather than disassemble, you know, some cheaper gear, just because I like I think that the added defense and DPS and stuff of next sets is worth the siphoning. So the extra little bit of time that it would take to get up to level 12 to get that same amount of experience, because the way that it works is if you disassemble a weapon at level 10, you get 540k experience for that, or disassembling anything at level 10. And once you can increase your level cap to 15, I think that's at level 60, then you can siphon stuff at level 12 and also get that 540k experience. So once I get up to probably once I actually get up to level 60, I'd probably start doing that. So probably another 3 or 4 weapons probably. I'm not sure how long. It takes about 2 hours or so to level up a weapon. It really depends on what you're doing, obviously. So with Slayer, it takes me a little bit longer because I'm always running around and not, you know, grinding something. I think at Dark Beasts, I watched a video, I think, from Justice, and he was doing dark bow with a cannon at Dark Beasts, and it took him about an hour and a half, anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours to level up his dark bow to level 10. So you assume around an hour and a half, 2 hours of grinding with a cannon, at least. Maybe it would take closer to 2.5 hours without it. I'm not sure the mechanics of a cannon towards leveling, because I don't use cannons ever. I have one, but I never use it. Just I don't really care to buy cannonballs. But yeah, so that's kind of how I'm leveling up, just buying royal crossbows, leveling them up, disassembling them, making new ones, and then just going through range. I like range. Range is my favorite combat style, so that's kind of obviously why I'm doing that. I'm at 58.7 mil range XP. I just got 116 Slayer, which is pretty cool. I am 4.7 mil away from my goal of 75 mil, and then I'm gonna set my goal to 120. So I don't like setting it from like 99 to 120, because that's just a really huge stretch of experience and it just looks sad. So I like to kind of put them at like 25 mil in intervals, because that seems to me to be at least a little bit more manageable and a little bit, you know, more reasonable in terms of leveling up. To me, at least. Not necessarily to everybody, but that's what I prefer to do. So, anyways, I think that is probably going to be it. So, I want to end out this video with kind of my future plans. Now that I have a new microphone and whatnot, I do want to get back into YouTube again. I think I've been playing RuneScape a little bit more, and I think I want to do that. So, what I'm going to do probably is I want to do at least 2 or 3 episodes a week of Road to 120 Invention. That's not going to be a daily series, just because Invention is just me. Invention is literally just me grinding out Slayer. That's kind of all I do for Invention. I don't really do a lot. I'll probably, you know, film myself disassembling items and, you know, doing discovery and that kind of stuff. I'll probably, when I'm doing Invention stuff, I'll film it. But for the most part, I don't. Invention is pretty much Slayer for me. I need to go and bank. But I want to do 2 or 3 episodes of that a week. Also with the new microphone, and I've been playing Star Wars The Old Republic a lot more as well. And the thing with Star Wars The Old Republic is it's something that I'd play anyways in my off time of RS. It's not like I'm giving up RuneScape time to play that, so it's kind of just something extra that I do for fun. I thought that I might just do a playthrough of, or a let's play of one of the campaigns that I haven't played yet, and just do a let's play of that just for some fun. I know that that's not what most people subscribe to me for. Most people do subscribe to me for RuneScape content because that's pretty much all I've done. I've done, you know, a Smite video, and I think I did a Call of Duty one on my old channel. And I think I've done a Minecraft as well. But that's only one video of that, and it, you know, I just never pursued that. RuneScape is pretty much the only content that I do. And that's just kind of the way it is. But I kind of do want to do that, and I understand that if people don't necessarily really want to watch that content, that's fine. Because like I said, that's something that I'd be doing anyways. So it's, like I said, it's not going to be detracting from RuneScape at all. It's rather I'm just showcasing more of what I do with my time. So I'm probably going to do that. So for anyone who is interested in it, you can definitely check it out because I'm pretty sure I want to pursue that. So for anyone who is interested in that, definitely stay tuned for that because I think I'm going to start that soon. I need to do a few more things. What I like doing with Star Wars is I kind of prefer not necessarily role-playing because that kind of is weird, but I like to have a backstory for my character so I can kind of say, oh, this is why such and such a character made these decisions. Like, I like that type of thing because Star Wars The Old Republic is very reliant on its storyline, which is one of the reasons why I like it so much, because I enjoy Star Wars and I enjoy story-driven content. I like that out of a game, so that's one of the reasons why I like it so much. And so I gotta do some stuff with that, and then yeah, I kind of want to do that as well. So like I said, I'd probably be making videos of that once or twice a week. So basically I'd be doing videos about 5 videos a week. That's a lot, to be honest. Like, if you actually look at most YouTubers have a schedule of, I want to say 2 to 3 videos a week. Gaming channels are a little bit different because a lot of times gaming channels, they kind of dedicate all their time to the gaming, whereas like beauty gurus and the vloggers and whoever else, those, you know, like the real life stuff, you know, there's usually a lot more work that goes into that than necessarily gaming videos, whereas because people who are gaming kind of just do that anyways. So, but yeah, 5 videos a week. What I'd probably do would be Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays would probably be it. I have class pretty much all day on Tuesdays, Thursdays, so it's kind of more difficult for me to do Tuesday, Thursday content right now. Over the summer will be really nice because obviously I'll have a lot more time. Yeah, so summer would probably be a nice time to, you know, be doing daily stuff. But for now, it'll probably be at least 5, 3 RuneScape videos, 2 SWTOR videos, and probably that would be pretty good for me. So you'd still be getting mostly RuneScape content for those of you who are solely interested in that. But if you're interested in me playing other games and doing other stuff, there would be 2 videos a week for that. So I think that that's, to me, a good compromise. So anyways, I think that's going to be it for my video, guys. There was obviously a lot more stuff than just Invention in here, but I haven't made videos in so long that there's just so much to talk about because, you know, a lot has changed in what I want to do with my channel and what I've been doing with my real life and all that kind of stuff. There's just so much that's gone on, and I mean, I've gotten a year older since my last video and probably like 2 years older since I was last really serious about YouTube. So there's been a lot of changes to my life. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you later. Thanks. Bye.